East Los Angeles, going live with some freaky mics. These are really unique mics. I was shocked when someone sent me these, and I was going to open these up and work on them, assuming all was all normal. And which one is it? I think it's this one. I'll show you right now. So these, they're not screwed together. It's kind of like a maze or a little toy that these are connected by these little brackets that have tension. So there's no screws in these. They're just kind of tensioned in there, and you have to easily pop them out. Look at that. 2 motherfucking ribbons. So my buddy lucked out because I'm usually 250 and upgrade. I'm like, yeah, 250, no problem. And then, not that it was a stickler on that, but when I opened them up, I was like, holy fuck. So this theory of how these work, I'm not sure who thought about that. You can pop these out. There's the transformer. This just flew out of there. That is a little bar that goes in between these two. You can see it in the back. Put that over there. Just a little screen. Dual screen. Actually, it looks like silk, kind of a silk screen. And then a screen there. But looking at this, it's pretty fucking crazy. So most ribbons of the world have a positive that is isolated, and then this is the ground, which when you screw the ribbon in here or screw the plates on the ribbon, it holds it down. This is all ground, and this is, so technically, if I got rid of this ribbon, I would have to move this cable to somehow touch or screw into this side to add the ground loop, and this one mic would be on its own. But I'm not sure how they came up with the design, but obviously positive is looped into this whole mic. Oh, actually, I'm sorry, positive is isolated here, and then negative is isolated here. So in theory, I'm not sure how they came up with this, but there are some mics. I think CAD makes one called a Titan. A little bit different. It's a round ball. I was kind of blown away when I got one of those, and then now these two. So I have a pair. I'm well aware now that there's 2 in there, but when you get this, it's kind of genius. This is a microphone, sir. Dario, this is a ribbon microphone. Ribbon microphones are what Frank Sinatra, Wizard of Oz, been used for all the Beatles records. They have these type of microphones. So when I got the mic, let's say I'll use this one as an example. Nothing moves. It's like there's no screw holes even here. There's no screws anywhere. So technically it's really cool. I will say if this was to fall on the floor, I imagine it breaking into about 4 pieces. Second. People put the funniest things. So, it's an old microphone. I don't think these are I think they probably still make these, but these have probably been made for maybe 5 or 10 years. It's not vintage, but in theory, it's kind of a unique style of microphone. Someone here just asked me to bark like a big boy or something like that. Really weird. I don't know what that's about. I mean, this is totally the most unexciting shit ever. But yeah, these are really unique. I mean, this is basically a I'm sure you can find these, and I don't. And if they're on the used market or someone has them, I don't think it would be that brutal to say these wouldn't be that expensive. But I'm sure brand new they were. I'm assuming this has to be $300 to $400. Joey, what's up? Thanks for tuning in, Joey. Got a lot of people leaving weird comments right now. Some guy was asking me to bark. Okay, woof. but sadly, I've already banned him from the channel. So there you go. He missed it. He missed the bark. Um, so this is the whole design here. Pretty cool. Very simple. And it's pretty much held together by tension. Um, these little pegs are slightly larger than the unit, so you kind of bend it and drop it in. The same with this plate too. So when you first get it, it's kind of mind-blowing. Like, okay, there's no screws holding this together. How are we going to do this? So yeah, that's it. So I'm going to change the ribbon in these. To access this transducer, it looks like I can undo these screws and pop it out completely, but I don't think I need to do that. I think I'll be able to change it here. I think this tape looks okay, and let's just do it. So anyways, I have a pair of these to work on. These are not mine. All right, so I'm only going to do one today so you can see this one. My friend James sent these to me, and he really likes them. And the ribbons don't look that bad inside, but once I get done with these mics will be louder, and the low end and mid frequencies will sound better. I'll put it, these are probably 1.8. Even if they're 2.5, they're definitely not going to be corrugated. I corrugate my ribbons kind of the way Royer does, so they're really, really resilient. Yeah, I think that guy was barking mad. There was another guy that used to, I forgot his name. It was like Mr. Salami or Mr. Salaman or Mr. I don't know what the fuck. And he would always pipe in with something totally like weird. And I always wonder if those are just, you know, I have no idea. I mean, I would say if you went to CNN or something like that, you definitely can pull some people's chain there. But musicians and artists, we kind of just don't give a fuck. And we've already heard crazier shit, so we're just kind of like over it. But definitely I want to see if I can do this for you all, get these done. I want to give you a little update too on these. I had a little bit of a, not a problem. I had two of these Reslos, and after I re-ribbed them, that could not get them to be closely matched. And without thinking about, because I kept on re-ribboning, and then I realized that they were different inside as far as what was inside them, the stuff that was between the ribbon and these. One had a massive amount of real insulation and a black cloth. One didn't have insulation, had the black cloth, a different color transducer, and slightly different. And I just, you know, I did a few of these where they sounded fucking awesome, but I had forgotten that I took out the foam inside. So these two Reslos were technically, one had a black grill here, almost felt and insulation, and one had only felt, and that one had a silk wrapped around it. So when I opened up this one, it didn't have, or the other one didn't have a silk around it, black felt insulation. And then when I went to the other one that had the silk around it, black felt, no insulation. I don't know if I made sense right there. But they were both different. So as I kept on tuning them, not realizing what was I thought it was maybe the ribbon. And then I had to talk to two of my friends that are pretty good in this, and they were just like, get rid of that shit. And I had realized that I looked back at some old pictures of the one I did two of them that came out fucking great. And just instinctively, I had removed everything, and I kept the silk. So in doing that, I realized right now, so I went out, bought some new silk, I bought some adhesive, and I just made my own little silk liners inside of these, which will be the front and the back. And then I don't have to keep on changing this now, because that was what was keeping the ribbon from sounding muffled and clear, was all that stuff inside. So this one I just did, it looks beautiful. And now that I got this sorted out, I'm going to test them. So I did both of them at 2, and I resilked them, and I'm just trying to get them as close as possible. It could be in the transformer, I don't know, but I know definitely now these should breathe more, and actually because they're going to be used in a real recording studio, I'm actually excited to get them to be used. So anyways, that's the ribbon, looks beautiful. And like I said, I have to put these back together and solder these wires to the bottom and the top, and then we'll be good to go. So a little bit of a dilemma, a little bit of a learning club. I just felt like the guy that's getting these, he needs to be able to use these in a recording studio. These aren't meant for a museum, even though they're classic. I definitely think they could sound better, and I think they do now. So that was my little Reslo dilemma that was been bothering me for a few weeks, and I finally got it figured out why I couldn't match those mics, and it was just a little here and there. All right, so now back to these. This one I still have to do. I put this one back in the box. This is the cool box they come in. Sweet. All right, let's get to it. So I'm gonna try not to mess with this too much as far as taking it out of this, but I do have to get the screen off. It's a little chilly today. I usually wouldn't be wearing my jacket in here, but it's a little cold. I was gonna say something else, but I think that would sound racist. I can say it's cold as a witch's tit. How about that? I think that may have been worse. All right, let's get this. Started. Thanks everyone for tuning in. You know what? I will say, Jason asked me a question. I think these are fucking awesome. I was a little bit shocked. I thought it was kind of gimmicky. And then I have already done about maybe 4 of these, and I say they sound fucking huge. I mean, think about it. It's almost like getting a large condenser mic with more real estate. You just have more real estate in the sound, and since they're aligned and the sound is hitting them at the same time, one's positive, one negative, it's kind of like getting a larger camera, almost like 35 millimeter, just gives a bigger image. It's crazy. They sound really, really good. Not my thing, not what in all my dealings of microphones, in the last few years, I've seen these from the Titans that are made, I think they're out of Australia, and then these ones. I will say they sound fucking great. And I do believe, because they're not, obviously, when you look at the mic, it's a double ribbon, that they could be at Guitar Center or maybe a used store, and it just looks like oh, it's a ribbon mic, but you don't know that there's 2 ribbons in there. I mean, these are really cool, really good design. Oh shit, someone's here. You recognize these, buddy? Whatever, man, 13. All right. So I just cut those because I just want to see if I can get this off a little bit easier. I don't want to have to unscrew this and get it out of there. It'd be a little bit of a nightmare, but I'm just going to try to get this screen to get it. There it goes. And it's slightly pegged under that guy. If I remember right, that was what happened last time. That middle one down, but cut my finger there. Your little ditty right here. Keep on cutting my finger on this. These screens are, not to worry about that, but the kind of locked into the transducer there. There it goes. These screens aren't for sound. They're made to protect the ribbon from flying out of the transducer. So I'm not worried about cosmetics of it. I know what they're for, but yeah, these are kind of caught up in there. Screen, I gotta make sure I get them all out. Need that near the screen. The magnet is grabbing little pieces so we can get them out. Yeah, I was gonna say the corrugation doesn't look too bad. I mean, I will say it's wide. When I show you, when I'll do one, I won't take them both out. I'll do one of them so you can see the difference from the one that I'm gonna put in to the one that's already there. Let me get these other ones out. That'll be a good example. You can see when I'm gonna do it. Well, they're not glued in. That screw, the transducer is under that, and it's just the screen. But I don't want to open it up and remove the transducer. I want to do less as I can to try to keep it original. Yeah, so what it is, when they made this, the screen was already on the transducer when they locked it into that screw. So it just slightly caught underneath it, which is not a big deal. Like I said, that screen is just for protecting the ribbon from analyzing this. I mean, the gaps, this looks like the fathead ribbons that I had. And like I said, the ribbon grooves that I'll put in will be double that. Almost between every one, I'll have another one in there. So, but like I said, these don't look too bad. The only thing is, I think they're not really corrugated good, so they may not last long. And those corrugatings being really wide and big does make it sound a little bit, I think, intentionally old school. But the best mics in the world, even a real 44, they have a 5-pound magnet here, 5-pound magnet there. And having a corrugation soft like that isn't necessarily, wouldn't be bad, but that wouldn't be too bad if the ribbon was like 3 inches long as opposed to being 1.5. The smaller they are, the more detail I feel like they should have. If you put a flat ribbon in these, it would sound terrible. So the closer you are to having a flat ribbon isn't too good. All right, so I just made sure I got all the little things out of the way. I got them. And now let's take the ribbon out. So I'm going to take one out. And so let me just get this sorted too. I'm going to take one ribbon out and put one in so you'll have a really good comparison of what I'm about to do. Let me just get my screen fixer. I'm going to put this back, obviously. And I'm going to cut out a little spot where you can see it got snagged. Put this back in the safe haven over there. If you're joining in and you're not a member, definitely see if you can become a member if you're into ribbon microphones. I got some cool stuff coming up. And also, if you're not a member, you can buy me a Pellegrino. Right below the description or above it, there's a thank you, and you can buy me a cup of coffee or a Pellegrino. Joey, you're not allowed to, man. You just got me one yesterday. Hold tight. I know that's gross to hear me drink, but I'm right here in front of the camera talking. All right, so let's do this. So I'm gonna do this one, and then you can get a really rad comparison to what I'm doing to what was here. As long as I don't damage that, hopefully I won't. Let's try to keep it clean, keep it legit. My light game going on. The light is just a big fluorescent light that's above everything. People want to know what I do and where I do it. This is my recording studio. I got some gear. I'm not just some dude sitting in his mom's garage. I actually record sick bands. If you see my videos. Dave Ketching gave me that. Rancho de la Luna. And that's my Manny guitar bar. 8 guitars and 2 square feet. I made that. I say I'll write a lot. Maybe just out of nervousness. Maybe about why in the fuck did I go live again? Jesus Christ, you could totally do this in private. I could be sitting in my chonies doing this. No one's bothering me. But there's something thrilling about this, right? I've just got to get it done. You know what I'm trying? I'm actually going to put this here to give myself a little bit of wiggle room. Working on it inside this little area is a little bit restricting, but I think I'm going to be okay. Well, that's what I mean. The screw flew off and stuck to it. Ribbon. Also, it is important that I put this back the way it was. This is plastic. It's not really even. And sometimes if you don't watch the orientation of them, because they were drilled probably to fit that and they're not weird and they're not perfect, like if I put that one in this one, sometimes they don't fit and I have a problem. And that's the worst time to have a problem, when you're trying to split the ribbon out and you don't know why that little plate isn't fitting. I think these ones are going to be good, man. I mean, I don't know on this ribbon how well it will do, but I know that this transducer is weirdly, it's the same size as this one. So all they did is kind of double. Oh, it's a little bit smaller. Yeah, it is considerably smaller. Let me see. What is that? This is 1.5. I think that's what they measure out to be. So it's usually the magnet is from right there to right there. Yeah, so the magnet is 1.5 on the normal ones. I'm going to say these may be 1-inch magnets. Yeah, they look like the 1.25, but I wonder if they're done in millimeters. So technically, this is 3 millimeter or centimeter. I'm sorry, centimeter magnet. And then this one would be 4. This is 4 centimeters and 3 on that one. But you know, bi ribbons are even smaller than that. So the size of the ribbon doesn't mean it's going to sound bigger or smaller. What I do like about this is just that it's a really unique design and it actually has a really big wall of sound, which I was shocked when I first did these. I was kind of like caught off guard on how good it sounded. And some company dropped a lot of money into this design. Even though they make these in China, it still must have cost a lot to get that booted up. I got one more screw. I don't know what these are on the market, but I'm sure when they came out, they definitely had to be more than $250 or $300. It is interesting that usually you would see 2 transformers, one on each mic. But the way they've done this one is that, like I said, one's positive and one's negative. It's black magic on how they make it sound good, but it does sound really good. Yeah, that ribbon looks pretty good. 2.5. I didn't look at the specs. I broke easy, but I didn't look at the specs of this mic. I mean, I did it one time. I just don't remember it now. Looks like it had pixie dust everywhere. So anyways, kind of disintegrates pretty quick. Tells you how fragile that is. So anyways, that's removed one. So let me get one that's in there, and you'll be able to tell you, what's going on. What's up, Yo-Joe? Design. Look how simple that is. Just the magnets, the metal, just sitting in the middle, and obviously stuck to this bracket. It's grounded. These no screws, just held together with these pins that go in there. It's kind of genius. This microphone and an SC Voodoo have really cool designs on how they put it together. Do this shit. Measure the gap. Without damaging that other ribbon. I'm gonna put this on my clamp here. One thing about these mics I will say, if they were to fall, those little things that are all held in it with the pins, it'd probably fall apart and go everywhere, and you'd be like, what the hell happened? I know, brother. Well, just to let everybody know, if you see the comment from whatever man 613, these are his. This is his microphone. I want to give his name here. There could be some privacy issues, but I think I may have said his name. I may have already given it away. So let's see. So whatever man 613, these are his microphones. I'm cooking dinner and watching this. I can't wait to hear these, he says, with a good ribbon. The stock sound was pretty good. See what I mean? Like these are legit. And they did care when they put those in. So whatever the Chinese company is that did these, they did do them well. I mean, like I said, those ribbons don't look bad. I'm going to try to preserve that one so I can show you what it looks like. So let me measure out the gap. I'm going to say 480 or 5 millimeters. Let's see here. Oh shit, 4.5. Holy smokes, Batman. So 435. Should be able to work with this mic off that. It's kind of a little bit too high for me. I need to really be looking down on it. Alright, so we're going to cut a ribbon to 4.30 millimeters. Let's see here, so 434. So now we're going to cut the ribbon for this. These are small. Usually I gotta have a little bit of room on the ribbon, but I'm gonna have to cut these ones a little bit smaller because that little extra ribbon that's usually I would just, these are 5 inches, and as you can tell it's massive, but I need some extra room, so I gotta really see how much. So like I said, these are 5 inches, I believe, so it's like, yeah, 5 inches. So I'm gonna cut this below that. I need some slack, so maybe 3 inches, 3.5. I think I'm gonna do 3.5 inches, because I, I don't. If I do 5 inches here, I think that's just gonna cause some problems for me because that excess that's gonna hang over. Oh, I'll cut it and then I'll just cut off that. So I'll do 3.5 inches. I'm talking to myself right now. Sorry. Okay, I'll cut it and then I'll cut it to 3.5. It's a little bit of a wasteful thing, but maybe I could. I'll save a little bit of it. These are some extra schnizzle manizzles. I can maybe save part of it, not to waste it. We'll see how it goes when I cut it. Real estate here. This is already annoying me. Got my new razor blades. Hello. Shocked at how expensive they are. But what can you do? That's the old one. This is the new one. Move this over here. Sorry about that. So we'll see if I can salvage it. Not sure. The paper. That's not even enough to fit in a fucking 160. Well, let's do. Still need to work with 3.5. For something, I don't know what. I do have a few prototypes I can work on. Where is the top? Let's get this going. Corrugating time. Don't break on me. So this is my corrugating device. Nothing fancy about it. Buy these for $9, $10, but I did change these gears out. That's why they're a little bit different than these ones. I felt these ones are too deep. These are not that deep, but there's a lot of more teeth in it, which I like the corrugation, which will be half the reason why when you see these, you'll be able to, at least, I mean, it's more about hearing the difference, but at least at this point, you can see the difference from a Chinese factory ribbon to what I'm gonna do for my homie. Yes, we need this back in the world. Tripping down from 5 inches. Wow, sorry about that. I just lost my, holy shit, my battery just out of my phone. I just blew this ribbon away too. Hold on a second. I got that warning, your battery's dying, and I completely forgot. So I hope everyone's still there. Everybody there? It says it resumed. Can't believe my phone turned off and I'm back. Got power now. Okay, so we're gonna corrugate this. Let me know if there's any issues. Everybody still there? Whatever, man. Still there? Yeah, Joey. Here we go. Joey, you should be able to do this on your own now. You've seen this so many times. So this is what the ribbon looks like after I cut it. It's flat. That was corrugated. Now we put the teeth in the ribbon. Now we'll have to stretch the ribbon a little bit, and that's the secret. You know, when you get them done at Royer and AEA, they stretch the ribbons out before they install them. And what that does, it's like an accordion. You know, if you stretch them out, it'll go back to its original shape. If you don't stretch them out and it expands, it stays expanded. And that's the problem. I think when they put these in the factory, most of the time, not in this mic, they look pretty good. They get stretched out and they don't go back because they went tweaked. Sorry, I'm working around my cable, my phone cable. Hold on. So now I'm going to stretch this. You know, when you stretch like this right now, that's holding it pretty even. It's twisted. So as you start to stretch it, holds its shape better again. So that's what you kind of want to do. It's like, you know, when people cut metal, car engines, big parts, they have to heat them up. So when you cut something, it adds tension and stress in it, whether it's metal, aluminum, brass. A lot of times with heat, they can fix that. But in something so thin like this, even that thin, it still has tension. If I left it in that form that it was in after I cut it and I install it in the ribbon, definitely it would not last that long. It would, you know, it would definitely fail or after a while not sound that good. So here's going to be a good example of what it looks like before and then after. So there's the stock ribbon in there. Let's see if I can get this set up here and move this phone over a bit. Hold on. There you go. A little bit better. All right, let's install that ribbon and then check it out, man. Put a drop of alcohol here. Then a drop of alcohol here. Not my most desirable way to work on a mic, but let's just see what we can do. Yeah, man, I think those upper mids are going to sound better, man. I'm looking forward to you telling me once you get this in your possession. If I can get it in my possession. Hold on. There's like a fucking out of control snake here. Get out of my finger. So as you can tell, looking at the one I just did to the one that was there, I almost have double the little slats. They're not as large as these ones. This is kind of like a rolling hill corrugation. Mine are like spikes of a teeth, so there's a lot more in them. And that's what I'm talking about. Plus I've cut it closer to the sides of the microphone, of the magnets, which will make it louder. So this will be technically a louder ribbon than this one, corrugated, more durable than this one because I've done it like a Royer. If you notice, I didn't use any paper when I corrugated. That's the secret, because when it goes over those gears, it gives me a finer gear point to those lines, and that's what makes it sound really cool. Yeah, he's telling me that he was also saying it had a kind of a trash can sound. Um, I mean, considering how this is, you can probably try this out and then maybe even yourself open that up and put a Cinemag in there. That'd be pretty fucking dangerous. But I think you're going to be fine. I think when you hear this, you're going to be pleasantly surprised. But like I said, you can see the difference. I almost have double the amount of those slats. This is the original, and this is the one I just did. And also, the durability of this ribbon will withstand waves of sound pressure more than this one. This is probably 1.8, even if it was 2.5. When I felt it, it's good, but it's not strong. The ribbon I have over here is really strong, so I'm not even saying it like I'm being like fucking stupid. I'm just like, no, I've just done enough of these, and I've given them to the guys, like the drummer for the Foo Fighters. I've done his ribbons. I got one for Daniel Lanois that's coming up, and I always mentioned the singer from Granddaddy. I did his mic. Warpaint, my friend Gus that plays in Roger Waters' band. I've done his. My friend Jose has a wicked drum shop in Portland. I've done his ribbon mics, and and even crazy enough, I'm doing Eric Valentine's. If you don't know who he is, he's a wicked producer. I think possibly tomorrow I'm going to do YouTube of Eric Valentine's ribbon. He got one of the MXL R144s. If you look at any one of my videos in the past, you'll see them. And he basically, ordered them on Sweetwater. He sent it directly to me, and I'm going to redo it for him. So Eric Valentine's going to do a comparison of a stock ribbon to what I do. So I'm excited about that. But even for you, that's going to be killer. So let me get this one. I can't, it's not over yet because I still got to lock it in. And I do see a little bit of a bump right there. Hold on. This could be, make sure this is right. So I'm going to try to lock this one in. And at that point, I may call it because I have another one to do. I have 3 more of those to do. And, you know, it'll be the same of what you're seeing me do here. You'll see me do them all. But I have to, it's not done yet. So let me turn this around because that's the way it was. Hold on. I'm not even doing this for tense to make it seem like it's a thriller and you got to watch it to the end. At any point, I could fuck this up, to be honest with you. And that little lip there bothers me a little bit, but let's just see if we can get by. So I'm not going to tighten these all the way. Just have to get it so I can work with it. And then once I get the other one in, if it doesn't move, I'll be able to then tighten it down fully. And I always do one side, even if this side comes a little loose or it's not right, I just have to get one side as a starting point in the middle, and then I'll be able to lock it in for good. And usually when I lock one side in and it's in the middle, my light on here, we're in the money. Like I said, I'm not out of the woods yet till this shit, my schnizzle, my nizzles are locked in. And once you get them done, tighten them almost like a snare head. Do one and then do the other. The reason the reason you have to do that is this is just plastic. If I tighten down one side super tight, it'll lift up. And as this one gets locked in, it'll bow up to lock down. So you just got to be really smooth with that. Uh-oh, it looks like I got Chaz here. Chaz, I'm being busted here. You see a comment from whatever man. This is his mic. I think Chaz has done that many times where he's tuned in and I had his mic. I almost feel like you guys caught me. I'm busted. Doing your schnizzle and nizzles when you guys aren't around. But yeah, so this is a really wicked mic, Chaz. He's got a double ribbon. Those are the Avatones. I've already taken it apart. But yeah, Chaz, when he did his mics, he would show up and be like, uh-oh, fuck, Chaz is here. I gotta finish this mic in front of him. Don't fuck it up. I met Chaz at AES recently, and it was really great. It's really cool when I work with you guys and then I get to meet you, man. Chaz is a bro for sure. We had a good cup of coffee, hung out, good times in Long Beach. He does a lot of work with a lot of industry people besides having his own badass studio, so it was really cool to see him doing his deal. And let me get this one in here, hold on. It's not over yet. I gotta and I use my fingers to block the screwdriver from slip up, just like that. Son of a bitch. I don't want to put a hole in the ribbon. The other one. I tell you, man, this is like, you know, they practicing physician, practicing law. I'm like a practitioner of ribbons, but it's like I'm practicing all the time. This is the art of fuck it, let's go live. You're gonna fucking munch it, but you're gonna do it in front of everyone, or you're gonna be successful. And as of right now, I'm on the last screw. Don't fuck with me now, ribbon gods. Jesus. I got Chaz watching me, and I have my fucking homie watching me. Jeez. Do me a favor, guys. Share it on your Facebook or YouTube or whatever you have, if you can. I do need the support. I love to do this. You can subscribe to me. You can become a member. You can buy me a cup of coffee. You can buy me a Pellegrino in the below the description or above it. There's a thank you. Best of all, if you can subscribe and you like ribbon mics and you are a musician, just keep me in there, man. I have some cool stuff coming up. So there you go. So this has been locked in now, and it's a prime example. This is the factory, and then this is the one I just did. And I will say, the reason, if you're looking at this and it may go like, well, there's a little bit of a difference. This was actually pretty good, but what lacked from this one to the one I did is this has a smooth corrugation. I had more of a rigid corrugation because I didn't use paper. They definitely use paper. Their corrugating gears were rounder, mine are sharper. The gap between my ribbon and the magnet are closer than this one. So I'm getting about 5 or 6 dBs of loudness from this ribbon. And then this one probably is just okay, like you said. And the way I corrugate it like Royers, you just get more detail out of it. So instead of me blocking it, that's just what you're looking at. So this is stock, and this is what I did. And it's close, but you can tell I've just got almost double the gears or the slats to everyone. Almost got 2. It's not exactly, but you can almost put one in the middle, and that would be mine compared to that one. And I have to do this one to that one, and then we will be on to the next mic. So putting it back together, I'm not going to put it back together now, but I'll just show you. If you didn't catch the beginning, once I get done with both of them, I have to put this screen back on. Then after I put this screen, this plate kind of pops on with that little thing in there. And this goes in the middle of that. And then this will go on to that. I want to make sure I don't puncture my new ribbon. And so when the mic gets done, it's a very, kind of hidden in there, but you can see the 2 ribbons. Super cool. So do me a favor if you guys can, if you're just new, subscribe, become a member, buy me a cup of coffee. But yeah, so now I'm looking at it this way. That will be the factory, and this will be the one I just did. Almost double. And that is in the detail. That's at mids and highs that maybe you're missing. This is more duller, more rounder. It's almost flat. And that's it. And also, I want to make a note to anyone that's around there. Hold on. I bought 4 of these, and this is the last one. These are up for sale if someone wants to hit me up. These are done just what you saw there. I did it to this one, which is a Golden Age. It's a lollipop, one of my favorite. This is identical to a fathead in every way except the grill. Inside, internally, it's a fathead. Anyways, I'm selling this. Hit me up. All my information's in the descriptions. I even think my email's in there. Like I said, this is the last of 4. Someone will buy this, but if you're my homies and you're watching this and you want it already done, you don't have to buy a donor body or do it. And it's going to be $475, and I cover all the shipping and insurance fully for the $475, and I'll send this to you in the United States for free. If you're outside the US, hit me up. It's usually about 60 to 80 bucks depending on where you are. But I'll work on the price a little bit, maybe drop it a bit if you're not in the US. But if you are in the US, I'll cover everything on this mic. So if you want to even break it down what it costs, my doing the mics are about $250 a mic. And then to buy the new Golden Age. So it's like getting a donor body. I've already done it for you. It comes with this cool mic clip, and it comes with a wooden box. So that's my last pimp of the day. I've got to go pick up my wife, and then I have to get back to that other one. And once again, this is a great example of before and after. This is, I don't even have to know, you can just tell. This is the factory, which is, you can tell there's almost like, it's very roundish. And then here is the one I just did, which has almost double the amount of the gearing, which is the corrugation. And that has a lot to do with the sound. But not only did I corrugate it with a better gear ratio, I've actually crushed it to the gears the way Royer does, and it makes a more resilient microphone. So this ribbon should last longer, should sound better. It's the highest grade aluminum, and yeah, there's no fucking around. So there it is. That's a very cool mic. This is an Avatone CR-14. I'm sure somewhere in the world, 50 bucks, 75, but I think these are still listed above $300. So I mean, they knew what they had when they made a double ribbon. But if it goes into the secondhand market, I don't know if people really know that this is a 2-ribbon microphone. All right, everyone, man, take care of yourself. I'm gonna be back later on. I have I've got a few more mics to do, and I may do actually a cascade later on tonight. But I've got to finish these up. I'm not going to film the rest of these ones because I'm going to try to get these to my homie fast. And I've got 3 more ribbons to do. That's the catch. It's not about just doing 1 ribbon. I just did 1. I got 3 more. All right, everyone. Take care. Please add me. Please subscribe. Please become a member. Buy me a coffee. I'm thirsty.